As a vegan for 5 years and a longtime animal lover, there is nothing that upsets me more than animal cruelty done in any form to any animal. Which is why in my everyday life I do my very best to be a part of the solution to that problem instead of a contributor to that problem. With that being said, the place I decided to do my community service project on is the Nevada SPCA, which stands for the Society for the Prevention of Cruelty to Animals. This place was founded back in 1981 and provides rescue for many animals who have been neglected, tortured, or even abandoned, and gives them food, shelter, and also a form of rehabilitation and a second chance at life. I knew when I first looked up this place I was very drawn to it and very curious to find out more about it. So I signed up for the orientation, and then once I did the orientation I knew that it's something I wanted to do as far as volunteer work, and did 3 shifts consisting of 2 hours in which I would socialize with cats. Now there are other different assignments you could do here, such as walking dogs, among other things, but unfortunately there is a waiting list for that job as well as a training period. So what I was able to only do was the socialization with cats. I have to admit, I haven't really been much of a cat person in recent years, although they have grown on me recently. But after this experience, I have to say I have more of an appreciation and love for them than I ever did before. It's just sitting in a room with them for 2 hours and just petting them and talking to them and letting them sit on your lap. It really, really touches your heart, as corny as that sounds. But I have to say it was a very happy experience, but at the same time it was also a very sad experience. For one, you see the condition that many of these cats are in, such as missing an eye, many of them. Many of them are very skinny and deteriorated and can barely even move. And also, it's the fact that many of them are stuck all in one room with barely any space. Well, not that extreme, but it's in the sense that there's 14 of them or 18 of them to a room, and many of them share a mattress, many of them are all grouped up together. It's not the same as if a cat or a dog would live in a normal house with an owner and their own bed and all that other kind of stuff. It's definitely a different animal here. While I do appreciate what they do for the animals, and I do appreciate that they do provide rescue for them, it still is sad that they have to live in this condition as opposed to living in their own home with an owner to take care of them and love them. With that being said, the way this place thrives and even survives is by the support of people like you and me. And the way we can do that is by volunteering, which is what I did. You can also donate by going on to their website, and you can also even foster and adopt if you're looking for an animal as a companion or a friend. As much as I would love to adopt, at this moment I'm not able to for money and time reasons, but if any of you are able to adopt or even considering it, I suggest, for one, giving this place a try for that alone, and also even coming in to volunteer. Volunteering takes only 2 hours of your time. That's how much a shift lasts. It's 2 hours. 2 hours where you can sit and talk to cats, or 2 hours where you can walk a dog, or 2 hours where you could play with bunnies. I mean, what the hell is wrong with that? I mean, I know we're busy and I know we have crazy schedules going on with our school schedules, work schedules, etc. But I think some of us can at least muster to find 2 hours out of our time just to socialize with some animals that are in need of some love. But I have to say, it's volunteering in places like this, they not only give me a better appreciation for animals, they also make me more upset when people treat animals as less than human. Or, as I would like to say, as nothing. Whenever I hear a person say that, oh, they're just animals, who cares, they're here for our needs, it gets under my skin like nothing else. Because after spending time in places like this, I realize more than ever how ignorant statements like that are and how ignorant people are from making those statements. Because if there's one thing I have learned from spending time with not even just these cats, but just seeing all the other animals here, is that They're capable of feeling pain and happiness and sadness the same as you and I are. And just because they can't communicate and talk the same way that we can does not give us the right to write them off as if they're like next to nothing. Which is why I want to keep continuing to volunteer at the SPCA. Even if it's only one time a week. That's more than I was doing before, and I would definitely love to add to that going forward. And I highly suggest that many of you out there at least consider the SPCA, whether you want to do community service work, or whether you like animals, or you just want to possibly adopt an animal. Trust me, adopting an animal from the SPCA is a much, much better idea than buying them from the pet store, where you're supporting big businesses, where they even breed them in many cases. I'm telling you, adopting from here is definitely doing a much better service than buying from one of those big businesses. Yeah, it's hard to spend time with these animals and not want to take them home with you. You see the look on their faces sometimes when they're happy to see you and they just want to sit on your lap and want you to pet them. It's really hard to walk away from that, and it's really hard to ignore that if you're a person with feelings and a person who actually cares for those who are in need. Which is why I'm very thankful that I was given this assignment to do, because I had been looking for community service work to be doing for a while, and when I heard about this assignment and heard about the SPCA, I knew it was the right place for me to volunteer. And I'm very grateful that places like this exist, and that it has existed for as long as it has, and that it continues to thrive. And I hope it does continue to stay in the community and continues to save animals who do need to be saved. And with that being said, also, it was also very sad to learn about the many reasons why many of these animals end up here, such as their owners passing away, their owners moving away, or not being able to afford taking care of them, or even the simple fact their owners just don't want them anymore and they throw them here. I kind of had an understanding for that a few months back when I saw a Facebook video of a look on a dog's face when it realized it had been taken to a place like this and its owner had abandoned it, and it really hit home. But after spending time here and actually physically spending time with them, it hit home even more. I would never want to do that to an animal if I had one, no matter what circumstances I would be under. If it came to that point, I would definitely do my best to at least find it a better home. But I'm happy that this place is around, and I'm happy it does provide a place for shelter for animals. But at the same time, it's not an ideal situation for them compared to living in a regular home. It's not. I mean, imagine yourself living in your own house where you're taken care of, you have your own space, and everything is all good. And then all of a sudden you're thrown into a shelter surrounded by multiple different people where you barely have any space and you barely have your own privacy or even people to love you. It's very sad. And what's even sadder is that many people don't even care. Which is why I hope that this project helps to put a stop to people's mentality of that sort. Because the way we live in our society and the way we treat animals is very selfish and very greedy. And I don't want to stand for it anymore. And I sincerely hope many of you take this to heart and refuse to stand for it yourselves. And I also want you to think about your daily choices and how animals are exploited for those daily choices, whether it would be the food that we eat, whether it would be the entertainment we watch or the clothing we wear. It's something people don't think about enough, and I know it's uncomfortable to think about, but it's something that we all need to if we want to progress and move forward. The truth isn't always a pretty thing. The truth isn't always a comfortable thing, but it's something all of us have to face sooner or later. Now, I'm not trying to put any pressure on you. I'm not trying to force you to make any decisions. All I'm asking you is to think about it and consider it. And whatever else you do after that is up to you. But please look at this brochure for the SPCA and please consider at least volunteering for 2 hours a week. That's it. 2 hours. That 2 hours will make such a difference in some of these animals' lives that you don't even know. So I just want to thank all of you for your time, for listening to this message. And I sincerely hope you take what I say to heart. And I sincerely hope that you realize that the animals that we share this planet with are simply more than just animals. Thank you for your time.